We're excited to be in conference. I'm going to go back a couple of games at App State. We led for like 38 minutes of that game, had a 10-point lead with 8 minutes to go, and lost the game. And then the very next game, Bethune-Cookman, we had a 7-point game with 5 minutes to go, and lost that game. And after the Bethune-Cookman game, which was home, we stayed in the locker room as coaches and players for longer than our normal amount of time. And then the coaches left and went into our team room, and the players had a players-only meeting, which that's exactly what it is. I have no idea what they talked about. It's players only. But I will say when we came back out and played versus Kennesaw, we came out like something's changed. Like we looked like the team that I envisioned us being in August. You know, we had a great first half. We finished the game. It was not a close game. And there's no better way to finish the non-conference season than with a good victory like that against a very good basketball team. Now moving on to, our first 2 games are on the road. UT Chattanooga and ETSU were picked to finish first. UTC, I don't remember, one was the coaches and one was the media. So we're diving into the deep end from the get-go. But hey, we've only got 8 teams in our conference. So might as well go play the defending champions first game. And when you have people like Deja, leaders, she's only been here for about 6 months. But when you have point guards like Deja and the way she's evolved and developed, and I think our relationship as a coach and point guard is very important to me, as you guys know. And I think part of the reason we play so well versus Kennesaw because she's continually to evolve as a leader. She takes ownership of this team. She takes ownership of her own actions. And she's the first one in the gym. Every time I walk in, I hear a ball bouncing. It's going to be Deja. So, it's going to be a hard road test for us. We play on Wednesday, which is different. So then we're going to stay on. First day of class was today, so we're going to miss, the first three days of the week of school. But, we'll see what we're made of from the get-go. But I'm excited to be turning the page to be 0-0.
Have you experienced those players-only meetings often, and whose idea was that to call that meeting?
No, not. I don't think players have a lot of those meetings on their own anymore. And I think it was a situation where we had talked for a little bit and someone raised a question and me and all my wisdom, I said, well, maybe we just need to leave as coaches and let y'all talk about that. I think that's kind of how it started, and I'm, Deja can talk a little bit more about it without going into detail. But, I don't know exactly what happened, but I will say the next day at practice, man, you could tell, and I will say also I've coached for a while, and this between coming back from Christmas to first day of school, which is today, this was probably the most productive, ever how many days it's been, that we've had since I've been anywhere. I mean, we put in wrinkles, we had, our mentality was good, our practice this morning was great, getting ready for chat, and so I've really been pleased with the direction that we're going.
Does that all circle back to just the senior leadership and experience on this team, despite, all these players coming from different places? Do you think that has a lot to do with?
I think it's just because you're a senior and you're older doesn't mean you have leadership. I think what we have in this program with the new players especially is maturity. I can have a very, very honest conversation with Deja and a few more players on the team, and some I cannot. But I can have a heart-to-heart with Deja, and she'll look at me and she'll want to fix it, and I'll ask her, what can I do better? So you have adult conversations with those that can handle it, and we have a few more adults on the team that we can have. And I think that's what's happened with me, at least, player-coach, and I would imagine player-player that possibly is happening as well.
For you as a coach, how nice was it to see someone back on the floor and knocking down those shots?
Well, someone made her debut at App State, and she was 0 for 4 in 4 minutes, so I took her out very quickly. But it was good to have her. She's got to remember she's the defensive player of the year. But she was hot. I mean, she's put a lot of time in. When she was not practicing, she wasn't able to move laterally and all this kind. But she could shoot, and she spent a lot of time, with the rebounder shooting the ball. And so shooters can always tell. You can always tell when you're hot. And I think there was a timeout, and I asked the media timeout. I said, "Who's hot right now?" And they said, "Some." So get some of the ball. It's real hard. Get some of the ball. But yeah, it's great. But the thing about our team right now, we've got 4 players that are averaging double figures, and Deja's averaging 9. And that's not the norm for my teams. Most of the time, I've got the first or second, third leading scorer in the conference. And so it's really nice to have it, spread out and have different people can be the leading scorer any night, quite honestly.
For Stacy to have that kind of night against her former team, I'm sure it's just another game for her, but to be able to do it against her former team and to see her just, kind of stay the course and have another great night, I mean, how cool was that?
First of all, it was not just another game for her. I think you can attest to that. It was, I was talking to her every day leading up to that. Are you okay? Everything okay? But you could tell, I mean, she was elevated. And I was just praying that she would come out. And luckily, fortunately for us, she did come out great, rebounded like crazy and hit some shots. And I think that got us all going as well, because I know that her heart was pumping out of her chest before that game. But I was very, very happy for her, for sure.
Given that she's a local kid from close by, did you ever take a look at her out of high school?
Oh, my
before
gosh.
she went to Tennessee?
Okay, Stacy and I have the standard answer that we're going to go with. That if you ask her the same question, because I keep telling her I messed up, but I blame it on my assistant coaches at the time. We missed her. We did. We missed her. She was also a really good volleyball player, and somehow we missed her. And I would love to have coached her for 4. I mean, imagine her being here. I mean, how well she's got improved, and if we'd have had her for 4 years. But I missed her at the time, but got her now. So I'm just going to focus on the today. Be where your feet are, right?
Hello.
Deja, what has the start to the season been like for you, especially in your first year at Mercer?
Lovely and welcoming. As soon as I came in the summer, I knew this was the right place. I knew I wanted to be a player under Coach Gardner, and the second I came on campus, it was work, and I love it. And like she said, our relationship has built from day one, and I just appreciate the realness and the truthfulness that she comes with, genuine, and just keep building, because I want to become a better player, but I also want to become a better person. And I feel like this is, over the 6 months, that's what it's done.
When was Mercer first on your radar?
When I entered the transfer portal, to be honest, I've never really heard of Mercer, but I knew I wanted to come to the Atlanta area, the Georgia area, to be honest. So when they called me, I did my research and stuff, and talked with my parents and talked with other coaches, and I just knew this was the right place.
What has it been like for you playing with all these, different players from different spots? Mackenzie is her first year in Division I basketball. There's so many different moving parts here. What has that experience been like for you?
To be honest, it's just been another year. I feel like my freshman year was kind of normal, but sophomore year was COVID, so every year I was with new people. So it's kind of normal to me coming here and being around new people. It's pretty much normal.
Seeing Stacy and Mackenzie do what they do inside, I mean, especially to see Stacy do that against her former team, what's that like from you looking on the outside?
Oh, I love it. It kind of makes my job easy. I pass on the ball and get out the way, and everything's good. All I got to worry about is relocating for a rebound if there is one, and helping them out in that way by getting them the ball. But it makes my job way easier.
We saw Summer heat up. You've definitely heated up quite a bit from three. What's that feeling like for you when you're just flowing and knocking them down?
It's what you practice for, to be honest. Just seeing the practice pay off in the game is just the best feeling as a player. And so when I see it for myself, I love it. But when I see it for others, it's so exciting. And it just makes me want to get them the ball every time. And I tell Summer all the time, you miss, shoot another one. Nobody's made more shots than they missed. So I just feeding them the confidence and letting them know that whatever happens, we got 14 other people that got your back, or 12 other people that got your back, you know what I mean? So just giving everyone confidence, because like she said, we have any day everyone can be the person that steps up, and so just making sure that everyone has the confidence to do that as their player, as their teammate.
And then kind of to what Coach was talking about, do you feel like that Kennesaw game was definitely a pretty strong turning point as you guys start the conference schedule here?
Yeah, for sure. I think both the App State and the Bethune-Cookman game were kind of the turning points. We're right there. We just need to get over that hill. And so us having the talk, just sister to sister, and just being real, just kind of opened everybody's eyes up to how much we really care about each other. And then we just turned it around in practice, and then it turned around and went over to the game. And I hope it's going to carry over through the whole season. So, but if we need to have another meeting, we will. But hopefully that was a one and done. But it was just sister to sister, just being real with each other. and everybody knows that it's coming from love, so it's easy to have those conversations when you know everyone has your back. And so just to see the outcome of that was just, it was good.
Without going into detail, who was doing the most talking in that meeting? Or was it a little bit of everybody?
I think it was everybody. Everybody cares about each other, so everybody had something to say. And so it was just being receptive. Like, that was the huge part, just us being receptive to one another and also to the coaches. Because we're all women, so we're around us all the time. And so, that could be a lot. But just reminding them that it's all from love. It's all coming from love. Just always giving those constant reminders are kind of like a breather. Because when you're around people all day, it gets a lot. And so just knowing and reminding each other that we love each other that's what keeps us going.
Coach talked about you being a leader on the team. How would you kind of describe your leadership style and how you want to be remembered?
Well, I think everybody on the team is a leader in different ways. I just feel like I personally lead with words, and we have a few people who lead with actions, and so it's just I think with us it's just when one person's not able to step up, we have other people that can, and so just to for everybody to lead in their own way and everybody to know that they're a leader, I think is what's most important. So when one person's maybe not able to step up or can only give 70%, the other person can give 130 for that person. So just making sure that everybody knows that they're a leader on the team, I think is what's most important.
And with conference play coming up against Chattanooga, where's all the players' heads at right now?
Oh, we're locked in.
Hungry?
Oh, no, we're locked in. We're locked in for every game. Whoever's in front of us, that's who we're locked in for.
So always next up mentality?
Mm-hmm. For sure.
Deja, coming to a new team, how much of a challenge was it for you to try to just kind of get to know your new teammates and kind of understand how you guys all play together out on the court? Did it take did it take games to kind of get to know everybody?
It's actually really funny. The first day we were all here, boom, right away. You would think we knew each other for 10 years. Our first time hanging out in the lofts together, getting to know each other it was a blast. I had fun. I felt like I knew them forever. I can tell them whatever, you know what I mean? So just that environment is so hard to recreate. And so for us to all come together and just blend right away was very fun.